You guys ever been bitten by an animal? I bet you have. And it probably hurt, didn't it? And I'll bet if nothing else, it made you really mad. You might have only been minding your own business. And then again, you might have just been trying to pet the little critter. But then it bit you and now you're mad. Like really mad. So mad that you almost just want to go insane. It's almost crazy how mad you are. You're so mad you just want to be like... That may have been an overreaction. Well, hey guys, Zach again with Riddled With This, and today I wanted to talk about rabies. So what exactly is rabies? Rabies is a non-segmented virus with a negative stranded RNA genomic structure in the order Mononegoviralis. It's typically bullet-shaped and is part of the family Rhabdoviridae. And in this family you have the genuses Ephemeravirus, Vesiculovirus, and Lyssavirus. And it's under the genus Lyssavirus that we find rabies, along with others. Alright, so where is it? Who's affected by it? Rabies is transmitted through mammals. And while any mammal can transmit it, the most common culprits are raccoons, foxes, skunks, and as I'm sure many of you know, bats, which are in fact the leading cause of rabies in the US. But as I said, any mammal can really contract and transmit rabies. Infection most typically occurs through direct contact, most notably through broken skin or mucous membranes through the eyes, nose, or mouth coming into contact with saliva or brain or nervous tissue from an infected animal. Most cases of infection are caused by bites and very rarely through scratches. And one mode of transmission that's even more rare is actually inhalation through the aerosolized rabies particles. Although as I said, it's really rare and typically only can occur in labs. Interestingly enough, there have been 2 noted cases of rabies infection through corneal or organ transplants. But as of now, these methods of infection are very rare due to increased safety protocols by medical facilities. And I know some of you out there are thinking it, what about a zombie virus? What about infection from human bites? Hashtag zombie apocalypse. According to the CDC, while it is theoretically possible, infection with rabies via human bite and non-bite exposure has not yet ever been documented. Not yet anyway. And sticking kind of close to the zombie monster category, it turns out that drying out the virus or exposing it to sunlight, vampires, has been known to neutralize it, vampires. Okay, so what are the symptoms? Well, it should be noted that before any symptoms of rabies can occur, the virus first has to make it to your brain. The incubation period of the rabies virus can last from weeks to months, and it usually varies based on how far away from the brain the exposure site is, if there's any current existence of immunity in the infected individual, and just exactly what type of rabies virus was contracted. Even so, symptoms of rabies can be flu-like and can include weakness, fever, generalized discomfort, headaches, a prickling sensation, itching, or generalized discomfort at the site of the infection, and these symptoms can last for days. Eventually, though, the symptoms will typically escalate to cerebral dysfunction, confusion, agitation, anxiety, and eventually, possibly, various forms of abnormal behavior, delirium, fear of water, or hydrophobia, hashtag old yeller, hallucinations, and insomnia. And this acute period of rabies can last from 2 to 10 days. Alright, so now let's talk about fatality. Guys, usually once the clinical symptoms kick in, palliative care is usually the only recommended course of treatment. Because at the point that symptoms occur, it's usually too late to do anything of real note, and the disease is pretty much always fatal. According to the CDC, in instances of clinically diagnosed rabies, less than 20 cases of human survival have been documented. Now guys, what about actual treatment options if we're not too late in catching it? Well, as of 2022, the typical method of post-exposure prophylaxis, or PEP, used in the United States is typically made up of a single dose of human rabies immune globulin, say that 5 times fast, human rabies immune globulin, human rabies immune globulin, human rabies immune globulin, human rabies immune globulin, and 4 other doses of the actual vaccine, usually given in the arm, over a period of about 14 days. It's important to try to get the vaccine as soon as possible after you've been exposed to rabies. And along with post-exposure prophylaxis, it turns out there are actually a few options for pre-exposure prophylaxis. Okay, so how can you keep from getting it? Guys, basically the best way to keep from getting rabies is to steer clear of wild animals. Because like I said, any mammal can get it. You gotta steer clear of them and don't touch them. And this includes injured animals, no matter how cute they are, because it's best just to not take that chance. Now, as far as preventing it in your pets goes, there are some steps that you can take to prevent your pets from getting rabies too. It's important to keep your pets' vaccinations up to date, keep your pets indoors, and if you have dogs that are outside, keep them under direct supervision, have your pets spayed and neutered, and in some cases it may be appropriate to contact the authorities to have stray animals removed from your area for overall safety's sake. I know nobody wants to talk about that or think about that, but again, you don't really want to take that chance for yourself or your pets. Well guys, that's about all I got for right now. As of late, I've gotten a few requests for topics for other videos. I'll be working on some of those coming up next, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. I said it before, I really love making these, so thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe out there, everyone.